Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, I make florals for spring because I am that original. It's actually 5 jackets. There's 4 different types of sleeves, plus I made a cropped one.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
Okay, before we get on to the florals for springtime jackets, these florals are absolutely adorable. So I'll just do a quick recap. So I'm using Burda 6120, and the actual pattern, they didn't have a size 6. The smallest was a size 8. So I did that, but it's actually as small as a size 6, and it had super slim sleeves. So I ended up changing it to, I used size 18 sleeves so that they were wide enough for me to bead into. And then I had to change the arm size as well. Because I've got small shoulders, I just sort of smooshed it in a little bit. And so then I made a couple of variations. These are the silver ones. And yeah, one of them's 80, like maybe 16, and the other one's 18 or something. I can't remember. So I like the wider one. And then, so it's 18 at the top, and then I widened it at the bottom. And then I went even shorter with the sleeves on the watermelon one. And then I did the boho, these 2 boho florals and boho keys. I did these 2 they are the same pattern as the watermelon fabric, but it's because this is a cotton lawn, it's a much lightweight fabric, so it behaves differently, especially when you add all the beading to it. And I do like them when you add the weight of the beads to them, especially this cropped one. The sleeves the shoulders end up looking round, like this one here that I turned into the keys jacket, because they're slightly puffy. Even I haven't added the keys at the bottom of the cuffs yet, but they keep their shape. Whereas this shorter one with the short sleeves, this is it here on the left, and the shoulders just look too round to me. So I'm changing, I just want to make a few tweaks. So what I'm going to do is change the arm side and make the shoulder sit like a centimeter or like a third of 3/8 of an inch further out. And by making the arm side a smaller size, I'm not going to change the sleeve. It's going to make the sleeves puffy that weren't puffy before, and I think that will give me the silhouette that I want. So yeah, I'm doing 4 different ones, and I'm making shorter sleeves because I kind of want a cap sleeve, because that way I can drip the beads down and they'll sit at a better height. I mean, I like the boho floral jacket, but I think I would like it more if the flowers sat a little higher or a little lower. So I'm just experimenting with different heights, different puffiness of sleeve caps. And also, I've just altered the torso of the jacket. So the torso of the jacket is still size 8, but I've changed the arm side, like the hole where the sleeve goes into is called the arm side. I've changed that to make it a smaller size. And so if you don't know how to redraft, this is probably all gobbledygook, but if you do, then you know what I'm doing. So yes, I'm just trying 5 variations because next month I want to start doing my make 9. I've got 9 jackets that I want to make this year, and I haven't made any of them yet. So I just want to do a few tweaks to this jacket pattern before I cut out my green. Got this beautiful green wool and cashmere blend. So yes, I want to just improve the silhouette a tiny bit before I do that. So I've got 2 out of this flower one here it's a navy base with the most gorgeous green leaves in it, and I managed to get 2 jackets out of this, but there wasn't quite enough. So I cut out 2/3 of the sleeves, and then I stitched on a patch to do the undersleeve. Because it's such a busy print, you can't tell, but it just took so much time because I only had 1 yard of fabric. This is the problem with buying only 1 yard of fabric. If they cut it exactly 1 yard, then you're fine. But if they're having a bad day and they give you not enough fabric, then you have to just play pattern Tetris for like half an hour to be able to get all the pieces out. I mean, I could have just made one and had leftover fabric, but I don't like scraps. I like using everything and having zero waste. So yes, I had a tiny bit left and I used it to do the underarm. And then I just hand stitched the bits together, then cut out the so anyway, you can't really see it. It's the two tiny flower ones, not the colourful flower ones. I had 2 yards of the colourful flower fabric, this Liberty one here. So those ones are both the midi length. And now I'm wondering, I've seen the finished jackets, obviously, and I'm wondering about this midi length. I might go back to making a few slightly longer ones. I like the midi length because if you're doing hanging down beads, it's a good length. Like if you did it any longer, then the hanging down beads would end up looking a little bit hippie. So anyway, I think at this point, so it's just left and right front piece and one big back piece cut on the fold. And this is me telling you that I patched those 2 bits of the fabric together so that I could get the whole piece of the sleeve on her sleeve. And then you just obviously fold under the raw edge, hand stitch them together. And that way, you don't, because if I'd done it with a machine, like sewing them together with the machine, you would have a hard seam. And having a hard seam under your arm would have felt yucky. So I had to do it all by hand. But yeah, it was finicky, but it looks good. And then so they were the 4 that I did with dark net as the structural layer. There's 2 layers of netting because I'm going to do a lot of beading onto them. And then I also had this bit of fabric. I don't know, the middle of last year, I did an episode where I made, the burrito method, where you make a sleeveless bodice and then you do these, you do one step, then you turn everything around, then you do one step, and you turn everything around. Anyway, it's kind of complicated, but it ends up with you not having to do as much hand sewing when you do a sleeveless bodice. It's called the burrito method. And I used half of my fabric to do the bodice in the burrito method video, and then I had this other half left over, and I did end up making it into a dress. But I had half of it left over and it wasn't really enough to do anything. But now that I'm making these boleros, it's enough. So yeah, I used this other half of this gorgeous rose fabric. I have been so tempted to buy another 4 yards of this rose fabric because it would just make the most beautiful vintage dress. But I literally have a wardrobe of vintage dresses and layer cake dresses, so no, I'm not going to buy any more, but I will use this half yard to make a very, very cute jacket. And I think this is me, so this is another day, and I've gotten to the point where I've got 4 jackets with all the hand stitching done, and all I have to do is put on the sleeves. But this 5th jacket with the white netting as the structural layer, I haven't done any of the hand stitching on this. So yes, lots more hand stitching in my near future for this past me. It is just such a cute fabric. All these fabrics are just so cute. Like, it was a lot of hand sewing to do, a lot, but there was such adorable floral prints that I was like, okay, I'll do it then. And I swapped, so I did the little indigo flowers, and then I did the bright ones, and then I did the indigo flowers, then I did the bright ones, and then I did the one with the pink roses. They're kind of a little bit neon pink, so I don't know, I've got these sort of weirdly bright pink beads and also some sequins that are just a little bit too bright to use on any of my tweeds, so I might use them on that. Or I might do sort of vertical garden hanging down beads. I'm not sure. Anyway, so this is me finally setting the sleeves, and oh my gosh, this was such a pain because with all 5 jackets, they're puff sleeved, and what you have to do, I mean, technically, I guess you can machine sew them, but they look so much better when you hand sew them. But yeah, I was in a little bit of a rush. So it's not that I was in a rush, it's just that there's 5 jackets I'm making. So I machine sewed the bottom 2/3 and then had to hand stitch, like you gather the top third and then you pin it into place and then you hand stitch it into place and then you turn the jacket inside out and you hand stitch. Well, I stitch from the outside and then the inside. And yeah, so it was very time consuming, but look at these jackets. They're just so cute. And they are a bit boxy and they do stick out a bit, but that's because I'm going to weigh them down with a lot of beading. And this jacket, oh, this fabric looks so good. It would look adorable as a vintage dress as well. Can you imagine if you had a blinged up bolero in this fabric and then you had a matching dress out of 4 yards? That would just look so pretty. And then you could have like a vintage brooch on it as well with a tussie of flowers. Ugh, be so cute. So I think with these ones with the indigo flowers, I think I'm going to do one in 2 different color greens because I love the little leaves on this one. And then the rose one, which is a white base, this one here, I think, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Like I could do pink, white and green beads on it, or I could do those bright pink beads that I have. They're sort of like a candy but reddish. They're weird. And then with the Liberty Floral, I think the flowers that I like least on that are those pale blue ones. So I think one of them I'll do in golds and maybe orangey gold. And then the other one I think I'll do in pinks and reds. And I've got these beads that look like old-fashioned candy. They're sort of cream and red. And I might hang them down off it or stitch them on. Maybe, perhaps, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is me just showing you them from different angles, and I thought I'd do one of each fabric first. I do end up finishing the other 2, but I wasn't sure. I was like, I'll just finish 3. But I really enjoyed working on these florals. So I think I have more floral fabric in my future. I've got these decorator fabrics that have got like iris and all these sort of like pond flowers and hummingbirds and dragonflies and things. And it's a decorator velvet. And I was going to make a Chanel style jacket out of it. But I think if I made 2 cropped boleros instead, that would be amazing, because then like it's one's a navy blue with all these greens and everything on it. So if I did one in green beads and one in sort of really inky blue ones, it would be amazing. So this is me just admiring all the... So then I finished the second of the indigo flower ones, and these 2 are just adorable. So the cap sleeved one, it's adorable the way it is, completely adorable. And you know what it reminds me of? You remember that Balenciaga collection from spring 2008 where they had those amazing silhouettes? Here we go. I love this one. This floral is amazing. And some of them are a little bit too abstracted, but yeah, I think some of them, the shoulders get a bit too big and sculptural, but some of them are absolutely beautiful. I don't like the whole dresses. I think that, I think the ultra fitted dresses, I don't know. I don't think they look particularly good on the models, but I don't know. There's something about the shoulders and the torso of it that I like. I think they would be cute if it was just like a bolero jacket over jeans and a t-shirt. I think it would be absolutely adorable. So, but yeah, I'm going to bead, probably going to have beads dripping down on mine. I love the orange one. It's I think I'll show you my two favorite ones at the end. But yeah, some of the fabrics are just so pretty. And the style lines that they've used, this one has really interesting style lines. So it's princess seams, but then they do a U-turn and go into the sleeve. So there's actually one of those annoying gusset things under the sleeve. So that would have been so annoying to make. Oh, and this is a Dolce & Gabbana. So if I like these jackets, beading them, I think I might also make just plain black one and turn it into a floral jacket, because I like that Dolce & Gabbana floral dress look, except obviously I'll just make a bolero out of real fabric flowers, because one of my Make-9 jackets is a fabric flower jacket. And if I do a bolero, that's like half as much. I only need half as many flowers as a long sleeve jacket. Anyway, so this is the two indigo flower ones from all different angles. And so I only had enough to do. One is a midi length jacket. The other one is a cropped jacket. And yeah, I think they're going to be, one's going to have two different tones of green beads on it, and the other one, I'm not sure, maybe navy and purple. This is me pointing out that these two jackets are actually the same size. They're both cropped, but that's what happens when you add layers and layers of beads hanging down. So yes, it does seem like it's a little bit too cropped, but I'm trying to use up my bead collection here. And also, I don't know, I think I always just wear them over, well, I've got vintage dresses I could wear them over, or a t-shirt and jeans. So it's not like they're just going to be, I don't know, you're not going to, they're not too short for me. And this is me showing you that these are both the same size torsos, these two jackets. And the sleeves are, but because I changed the arm side a little bit, the sleeves sit differently. So I quite like these ones. So yes, I'm glad with the drafting changes I made to this pattern. And I'm not sure that it's obvious to the world, but I know what it is. And I like the shape of the sleeves on. Actually, I like them both. So I don't know. I think I'll just stare at these jackets for a bit and then decide. It depends on what sort of beading you're going to put on them, what type of torso of the jacket you want, and what sort of sleeves you want. So I'm glad that all of them worked out. So I've got 5 different types of sleeves for the torso that has slightly wider shoulders. And then I've got 3 different sleeves for, well, I suppose I could use all the sleeves. And I've got a range of different sleeves for the torso, which sort of rounds out my shoulders, which I don't love, but the puffy sleeves do look good on that one. Here it is. This is the puffy sleeves on the second watermelon jacket. So yeah, it's the arm size slightly further in, but because the sleeves are slightly puffy, it sort of, yin and yang, and balances it. So I really like the silhouette of this one. And the boho keys is the same. So I'll keep that one in rotation. And I'll keep these ones as well. I love these ones. So part of it is just the fabrics. They're just so cute. I can't wait to bead these. But yeah, I'm a bit confused about what pattern I'm going to use for my green wool now, because one's going to be a pond. It's going to be like the grass around the pond, and then the triangle on the back is going to be shards of mirror, and that's going to be the pond. And then the other one is going to be, it's like a cottage garden. So I think the cap sleeve has cottage garden vibes, and I'm not sure about the pond. I don't know. I'm absolutely determined to finish that silver jacket that's got the green sequins on it. I want to finish that by the end of the month. So I'll work on that. And while I'm working on that, I will think about what jacket patterns I'm going to use to make what jackets next month. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been inspired to make something floral for springtime. And, or if it's autumn in your part of the florals are always gorgeous, I think. Well, you know, I wear them all the time. So I really like these two. I think these two are my favorite, but I don't know. No, I like all of them. Anyway, thanks again for watching and happy sewing. I really want to bead these, but I have to finish that silver jacket with the green sequins, giant sequins on it first. So I'm off to do that now. Happy sewing.